Hey Gators, welcome back to Sit with Simmons. I'm Bob Simmons, your head men's basketball coach, and joining me today is the legend himself, Allegheny College alum, all-time leading scorer, second all-time in rebounds, field goals made, field goals attempted, fourth all-time in block shots, free throws made. He's a two-time All-NCAC first teamer. He's the 2016-17 Allegheny Male Newcomer of the Year. Member of my first recruiting class here at Allegheny College, Mr. Jordan Rawls. Mr. Rawls, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
No problem, no problem. All those accolades, we might have to end the show right now. I think we ran out of time.
No, we don't have to end it right now, but I'm humbled though. I appreciate you letting everybody know that.
So before we get started, I'd like to introduce our sponsor of the show. So Gators, today's sponsor is the Hair Club for Men. Why? Mr. Rawls.
That's why. I see. Okay. Sounds good.
Mr. Rawls, let's jump right into it here. Allegheny College. Why'd you choose Allegheny College? What was your reasoning for choosing Allegheny College?
Honestly, what steered me there was probably my relationship with you. You were big in the recruiting process. You talked to me a lot. You made sure I had all the information. So honestly, probably my relationship with you as a coach.
Thank you. I saw you a few times. I saw you play a few games. Yeah.
Just a couple.
It got to the point where I knew this system, I think, better than some of your teammates knew the system.
You might have.
I knew we were going to start the game with a play for you, and we were going to start the third quarter with a play for you. After that, you were getting your points off of the press because you played at the top of the press. So, So, Jordan, tell us a little bit, when you got to Allegheny College. Tell us about what you studied, why you chose that major.
Okay. Yeah, when I went to Allegheny, it actually took me a little while to find what I wanted to major in. I had thought about doing something with engineering, and they do have an engineering program there, but I sort of got into the direction of health, and I ended up as a global health studies major because I always wanted to do something and feel like I'm helping people health-wise and learning about things like that. But at the same time, I didn't want to do all those years of medical school. So I thought global health studies as my major would be like the second best thing, where you don't necessarily have to go to medical school and do all those years afterwards before you get an actual job. But with global health studies, you don't have to necessarily. So I studied that. That was my major.
Nice. And while you were here, I don't think people realize this, you did some volunteer work. I know we used to do a volunteer community service project in the spring and in the fall, but you actually did some on your own. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you got involved with while you were here in Meadville?
It's actually a great transition because women's gender and sexuality studies was my minor. So I did do shadowing and some volunteer work with you guys and by myself with the women's service shelter that's on Spring Street. I did that, one, because like I said, it has to do with what my minor is, and two, because I think it pairs well with my major. And also because coming from a household where I was raised by my mom, the health and the importance and understanding women, and not just women, actually non-binary groups, LGBTQ groups, that's all something that's really important to me and something that's on the rise right now. So that sort of transitioned into my volunteer work that I did with the women's service shelter because of basically coming from a single parent household with just my mom.
So Gators, as you see, unbelievable men's basketball player, great student, great person, someone that gives back to the community. Again, a great role model for all of us. So Mr. Rawls, on campus, I know some things about you that maybe some others don't. We won't get into it too much here, but one of the things we all know about you, Mr. Rawls, is your love to eat. So where are we going on campus? Are we going McKinley's or are we going Brooks? Where are we going?
It depends. I'll 99% of the time say McKinley's, but Pasta Fridays at Brooks though, yeah. I'm always at Brooks for Pasta Fridays. If I can only pick one though, I'll say McKinley's.
Okay. So at McKinley's, what's your go-to station? You're going to that station the majority of the time. What's your go-to?
The Cantina. I love the quesadilla. You can't go wrong with that.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Very nice. And we also know, Mr. Rawls, you do like to take a nap every now and again.
Every once in a while. Windows time.
So you're an honest man. So we're gonna go true or false here. Okay, true or false.
Okay.
Your freshman year, true or false, you may have overslept for a game.
True. I may have overslept for a game freshman year. That is true.
Yeah. I remember these things, Mr. Rawls. I remember these things.
Yeah, that was the one game I didn't start in my Allegheny basketball career, actually. I remember that game very well.
As do I. As do I. I think we had the entire campus on a search for you that day. But we found you. We made it all work. We moved on. Everything turned out pretty good. Pretty good.
Yep, learned my lesson. Didn't happen again after that.
Didn't happen again. Let's go with another true or false. True or false, you are probably one of the most level-headed players we've had in my career here. You don't really show too much emotion. True or false?
Depends. I'd say false.
Wow. Okay. I'd have went with true.
I was going to go with true, but I don't know. Maybe you just haven't. I don't know, coach. I'm not sure. The only reason that I'm going to say that's false is because I don't know, my competitive spirit, I think, just how I feel about other teams and that rivalry that I felt like we had with Worcester, and also incidents in practice when I get really into it. So I might go with false on that one.
Okay. So that's a great segue into another true or false for me. Thank you for this. True or false, you and a fan had an altercation in practice. I don't mean a human being fan, an actual fan to cool off things. True or false, you and a fan may have had an altercation in practice.
That's true. And that's the exact reason that I said the last true or false question was false.
Okay.
Good one, coach. Good one.
Again, I remember these things.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jordan, what's one of your favorite basketball memories? 4 years, like you said, you started every game except for that one. Do you have a memory like that you go back to all the time? What's your favorite memory?
I think it would be too cliche to say whenever I broke the scoring record, but when we beat Worcester at their own place, that felt really good. That was a great memory for me.
Okay, great. Now, there was a lot of them, so I wasn't sure where you were going to go with that. So bus rides home, or bus rides, right? Away trips.
Mm-hmm.
PA subs, Domino's Pizza.
PA subs. PA subs, definitely.
Can't go wrong either way, but good call there.
Right.
So, Jordan, as you know, February is Black History Month. And the theme for this year is the Black family, representation, identity, and diversity. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you, the Black family, mean to you?
Essentially, it means that, as I can think about it from two different angles. At college, as a minority group, where I know there are less African Americans, you guys are a family, so you have to look out for each other. Family looks out for each other. Family does things for each other. And I feel like that's kind of how it has to be when you're on campus. From a more broad perspective, definitely just looking out for your brothers, looking out for others who look like you, making sure that you know for yourself that Black Lives Matter, and keeping each other safe and keeping each other on the right track so that nothing happens. That's what I think of when you say family and togetherness. That's what comes to my mind.
Awesome. Awesome. That is great. Great answer. And you're 100% right. I think we all have to look out for each other. You know, in all honesty, I think we all have to look out for each other. And hopefully we could get everybody to understand that and work towards that. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience, but hopefully we can work all towards that. So, Jordan, what would you describe as our Allegheny men's basketball family's culture? How would you describe our culture? You are a big part of establishing that culture here, you know, in that first recruiting class. How would you describe our culture?
I would say that we work hard and we play hard too. Whenever we step on that court, you kind of set the theme knowing that like once you're in practice, it is time for you to really lock in and focus. But outside of that, I think that we have a pretty good basketball family as well. I always have seen our team as I've always seen our team as a team that's goofy, a team that knows how to have fun, and a team that does stuff together outside of the basketball court. So that's how I would describe our family. Serious when we need to be, but then we also know how to play hard as well.
I would describe you guys that way as well. You guys like to have fun, but when it's time to work, you guys certainly go to work. Yeah. Jordan, would you say that I'm the best dancer on the coaching staff?
Nah, I don't think I could. I'd have to, yeah. No, coach, I don't think I could say that one.
Wow, my guy. I build them up, Gators. I built them up with that introduction, and man, he just tears me down. It's funny how they forget. All right, I got you. I got to work on my moves. I'll practice. And maybe one of these episodes of Sitting with Simmons, it'll be a dance party. We'll invite you back.
It's been so long since I've seen you dance, so that's probably why, my memory. I haven't seen you dance in so long. I forgot that you were so good at it. So maybe that's why.
Good recovery. You always did recover. You might make a mistake on defense, but boy, you really hustled and recovered fast. So good recovery, Mr. Rawls. Good recovery. Jordan, before we leave, what is something that you would want to say to an Allegheny College men's basketball recruit? What's a message you'd like to give them?
The message I'd like to give them is that if you're going to come in to play basketball, be prepared to work hard. It's a long season and it's a long 4 seasons. I would also tell them that it's important to stay ahead in the classroom too, because you are a student athlete for surely. And having to balance both is something that you have to learn how to do it first. But once you do it, and if you keep working hard, that's the best advice that I can give them.
Great. Mr. Rawls, thank you for joining us here today. It's always a pleasure to see you and talk with you. Gators, as always, make sure we stay safe, we stay together, we stay masked up, and refuse to lose.